So when you think about making steaks and cooking steaks, what do you think of? Typically grilling. Well, today we're gonna show you how to change that up, and we're gonna smoke our steaks and add a little smoke-infused flavor. Today's recipe is super easy. Only 3 ingredients: kosher salt, black pepper, and some garlic powder. Today we're gonna do a filet mignon, and you've got several choices when you buy the steak. You can buy them in the flats, as you see here, that's completely already trimmed. Today when we bought these, they were about $18, $19 a pound, or you can buy a complete tenderloin that was about $13 a pound, but you've got to trim it yourself, which is what I'm going to show you to do. Wash it, take it out of the package, and start to get this steak to where you've got your fillets. Now when you are doing this, you're going to see that there is a cut all the way down the fillet that is actually called the chain, and you can pull this apart with your hand until you get it ready to trim, and using a boning knife, we're going to trim that chain completely off of this fillet. And you want to make sure that you save that part there, toss it in the refrigerator, and you can actually grind that up to make some really, really good ground beef. And again, separate it with your hands until you can get your boning knife in there and actually pull out the butt end of this steak, and that's going to make for a nice, what they call a roast. You want to trim some of that fat off. The main thing you want to do is get the silver skin off of that roast. So we'll set that aside. We're cooking that later. That's not what we're cooking today. All of this silver skin that you can see there, you want to make sure that you get your boning knife inside of that, and try not to cut too much of the actual meat, but you want to get that silver skin completely cut off so that you get down to the actual meat itself. And that silver skin, you can just basically toss that in the garbage can, because that will not cook up and get tender no matter how long you cook it. And you want to leave some of that fat on for flavor. And right in the very center, you're going to have your most important cut right here. Now that is what they call the Chateaubriand. That is probably the most expensive cut. On the ends, we're actually going to be able to get some of the fillets out, and we want to cut these at about 1.5 to 2 inches thick to get a nice cut, just like you saw that we got at the grocery store. And the little ends we call the tails. You also can save those, and if you ever do a complete tenderloin, tuck that in and tie it so that it gets to about the same thickness. So our center cut that you see here, you get about 2.5 to 3 fingers thick, and you'll get a nice 1.5 to 2 inch fillet. Exactly what we got at the grocery store. So if you want to have a little fun and trim your own steak, that's great. You can save some money and cut the medallions yourself. Again, as I said earlier, this is a super, super easy recipe. We're going to start out with our salt. So you want to make sure that you get the kosher salt on all sides of the steak. And then next we're going to add some black pepper. Now this is all to taste. So our last little ingredient is going to be some garlic, and same principle. You want to get all sides of that steak. Once we've done that, we've got our steaks. We're going to take that and go get our smoker ready. Now here's a little tip. If you have plenty of time, you can actually do this to your steaks and toss them in the refrigerator and let them sit for 2 to 4 hours while you're waiting on your company. Or if you're like John McLemore and you're always in a hurry, season these steaks up, leave them at room temperature in while you go get your smoker ready. So let's head outside. So now comes the fun. It's time to put the steaks on the smoker. Now, when you load your smoker, it is always important to make sure you put any raw food below any cooked food. But today, we're gonna transition and take these steaks off and show you just how juicy the results will be. The last time I made this recipe, we had some friends over and I put about 12 steaks on 4 racks and let the smoker do all the work instead of having to stand over a grill and maintain the temperature. Just let the smoker do the work, change up that flavor for amazing results. We're using the Masterbuilt ThermoTemp propane smoker. What's amazing about this product is I've set the temperature to 275 degrees. It automatically maintains perfect temperature. Now for the recipe, we put these steaks on and for 45 minutes, we're gonna get a medium rare temperature, and at 60 minutes, we're gonna get a medium temperature for perfect, juicy steak results. Let's head inside. So the results, as we've been talking about, are you have a perfect medium steak cooked throughout in an hour. That Masterbuilt do all the heavy lifting for you. You can cook 50 steaks without having to stand over the grill and have perfect results. Now when you take them off, you want to make sure that you let this steak rest for about 15 minutes to let all of those juices come out before you serve. Steaks that are this good will have the family coming over every single time.